All right, guys, you're welcome. You're welcome to this class. Welcome to Poshem Technologies Institute, to our Python for data analysis basic class. All right, guys, so let me get your feedback from our previous class. Any challenge, how far your learning process, and your assignments. All right, go on, Kawira.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity, sir. Good evening, all of you. So on my side, I've managed to review like most of the videos and I've done the assignments. So
Okay.
like I was saying, like I discovered today, you can't type like 100,000 without the separator comma.
Wow,
Like,
that's great.
another thing I've discovered, like when I run a code, like for example, what you are showing me, what I've written in the group, I
Okay.
was using Python for my assignment. So
Okay.
like when I type those codes that require the input, when I
Yes.
put like the first one, the second, the third, when I run like the third on the terminal, the whole thing deletes. You have to start again inputting the values for all of them. So I don't know about that. I've found it strange because I've already done maybe, for example, number 1, 2, and 3. But when I run number 3, especially the question requiring input, you have to start the others. Like if number 1 was about input, number 3 was about input, and number 10, I have to start inputting number 1 again, number 3, which I found like it's wasting time. I don't know if it's my setting or what.
No, that's how we do it Python. I think the Python runs everything at the same time. It runs everything over and over again. Even if you ran before, you have values there. If you run it again, it runs everything all over again. That's one thing with Python. It's not like your Jupyter notebook that you could just run a cell and run the next cell and the next cell. No, Python runs everything at once. I get me. So it's not
Okay.
your setting. That's how it works. I've
What
seen. I've
about
sort
the visual? Sorry.
Go on, go on.
What about the visual, whatever, like the other one? This one you are using for class.
This one, Jupyter notebook. Jupyter notebook.
Not Jupyter, the other one, the Visual Studio. Is it the
Visual Studio
same?
Code. Yes, it's the same thing with your Jupyter notebook. Now, almost the same thing. That one has cell. That one has cell.
So even that one, which has cell, you have to run all of it.
No. If you want to run the cell, you can do input here. You can do your input here. Num1. Num1 is equals to num1 is equals to inputs enter value. Right. You can do this. You run this one. You give the value. Let's say welcome. Sorry. You want to write, say welcome. This is a string, so that's it. That one has gone. You cannot do another one again, num2. As the case may be, input, enter value. Are you getting me? You can run. Write the value you want to write. So it's different from the PyCharm. PyCharm, you run everything together at once again. Everything at once again.
What about the Visual Studio? Is it the same?
No, it's the same with the Jupyter notebook. It's the same thing. The same thing. You can store, you can run as it progress. But mind you, you know that your VS Code can also store .py file. Shay, I told you now. Right? Your VS Code can also have .py file. Hope you are aware that VS Code allows. I told you now that VS Code allow multiple these languages. So it allows notebook extension. It will allow .py extension too. Just know that in case you don't know. Oh, we are good now, right?
Is there any difference between what other type of file? It's py and notebook,
I told you
right?
that we have two. Now we have two IDs now. We have two extensions now in Python now. We have PY and IP notebook now. IPYNB. So I'm just telling you that VS Code is not as if it uses only notebook extension. You can also open the .py file in your VS Code. You can still try it. Are you getting me? On your own? You can still open the .py file with VS Code. All right, that's it.
Okay.
Any other question,
Okay,
guys? Any question? Go on. You are free.
I was saying on the discussions we have been meeting on Tuesday and Saturday. So far, we have discussed assignment 1 and 2. So tomorrow
Okay.
you start on the third one.
All right, that's good. That's
maybe
great.
the rest can give their input.
How about you, Uncle Charles? How about you?
Good evening, sir. I have nothing to say. I'm just observing for now.
Why are you still observing? Up to now, you're still observing. Please don't be observing. No, beg. Up to now, you're still observing. No, now. By hopefully by Friday, you're almost done with the program. Yeah, so by Friday, we're almost done with this Python.
But you've not shown us how to import data that we'll do analysis on now. What we are just doing.
That one is not basic.
That one is not basic.
That one is not basic. That one is not basic. It's advanced. NumPy and pandas. That one is not basic. That one is advanced Python.
I was thinking is in this level that we'll do that, how to import data and start doing the plus minus and all that.
No. That one it's for big boys. That one is not basic. This is basic. This is basic. When you know this one very well, now you can now use another manipulate your data and add and plus do or create new columns and do cleaning in those ones. So that's just it.
I was thinking that one would be easier, sir, because we are coming with residual knowledge from Excel and Power BI and SQL.
Okay.
That's my thought, though. I don't know. The way you are saying, it'd be like say.
No, it's not even like say. No, it's not even like say. It is that, in Excel and Power BI, you click. I get me. You click. You only write a dash function and macros there. The rest you click and write your put your function in. So equal to this. But in Python, I want to clean data sets. You must code everything by yourself. You will code everything. You want to do charts, you write code. Anything you write code, but it's not as if you be scared. No, don't be scared. Everything is achievable. You can achieve them. It's not difficult. All right, guys. So that's why in Poshem they break everything down. If not, in some places where I learned data science, the only God that helped me is that they don't assume that you are a beginner. They assume that you don't know how to code Python. So everything was just go boom like that. So best is even drop stop along the way. We are 8, just 3 persons that graduated. I get me. But yeah, it's wise. It's very, very important that you break down everything. We are basic, we are advanced Python, which is your NumPy, pandas, your visualization, and your Seaborn and Matplotlib. Yeah, you will not enter data science. We will not talk about machine learning and deep learning, the rest of them. But we are learned. We did everything once for 2 to 3 months or more. It wasn't really an easy one though. But we thank God. I thank God that I came out strong. And what helped me is that I had prior knowledge of Python before now, from years ago. That's been long. So I think it wasn't difficult for me though. I just have to put more time, do more practice, and everything was just sweet, and I came out. All right, guys. So let's proceed with what we have for today. We'll be looking at Mr. Mohammed. I have not heard from you, please. Not heard from you.
So, good day, everyone.
Good day.
Yeah, Yeah, for now, like I don't have no issue because I've been following up the class. I'm in line now almost. I can see so I don't have like questions for now. And also I've submitted 2 of my assignments. I don't know if you find it in the Google Drive. Just give me
When
the
was
third
that?
one.
When was that?
I submitted them, I think, on Saturday. No, I submitted one on Saturday and one on Sunday.
Okay, I've not checked. I will check later. I'll go through it. But I've gone
All
through
right.
the others. Well, I'm not going to. I'll go through your own later.
All right, thank you.
Remaining the last one. Oh, Papa Charles, have you done your own assignments?
Yeah, the last one, hopefully this weekend I will submit it.
Okay. Karen, are you submitted your own? This last one?
Yeah. I've done. I've submitted.
How about you, Papa Charles? How about you?
I've not submitted, but I'm on it.
All right. So the goal is to understand the concept. It's not just by submitting. Okay. Very important.
Okay.
All right, guys. Yeah, let's proceed. Sorry. Python function class function. Python functions, then class and objects. All right. So now, what is a function? Okay, I'll define and give us a layman understanding of what a function. Now, by definition, a function in Python is a reusable block of code that perform a specific task. By functions, by definition, function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. That's what a function is. Function helps in organizing code, reducing redundancy, and improving readability. I will explain those words. Let me say function all right, it helps in organizing code, reducing redundancy, and improving readability. Right. That's what function is. Now, let me explain. Right. When you say function is a reusable block of code that perform a specific task. All right. I believe we all know school bag that we use either for traveling or going to places or even going to school. Your backpack. Your function is like a backpack where you put various things inside. You can put your school books, your marker, your eraser, your pencil. You can put even your lunch pack could be your backpack. Those things are for what? For you to go to school well, learn with it, learn with your books, write with your pen, use your eraser, and eat your lunch when you are kind of hungry in school. That's like a function. The next day you can take out that school bag, the same thing. You'll be using the school bag constantly with those things inside as the day goes by, as week goes by, months, years. You are still using school bag, books, your lunch box, lunch pack inside your school bag. So all these things are basically what function is. Function is like a reusable block of code that performs specific tasks. For example, you want to like, for instance, now this problem that Kawira solved today, she ought to write a program that perform the average of three numbers compared to this with the constants and check if it is greater than constant or not. All right. Now, for assuming that particular code line, those codes now should be used somewhere else in the future, in your code, in your projects. You want to use that particular code, that section, multiple times, more than once, twice, 3 or 4 times, you will still have to write those codes again. But when you put those codes into a function, you package those codes into a function, it will help you to reuse those codes again. You just call the function. You don't have to write those codes again. The enter input 1, 2, 3, 4, input 1, 3, the next value, do your comparison, a division. No. You don't have to do those stuff again. What you just do, you just have to call the function, the name of the function. You can save the name as average check or average comparison check. That could be your function name. Then you now call it and perform what you want to perform with it. That's one. Secondly, you want to create a system that greets users every time they enter, every time anytime you run the code, or at every point in time, the code will greet the user, welcome, greeting, you're welcome, your name, you're welcome, Kawira, you're welcome, Kwacha, you're welcome, Charlie, you're welcome, Muhammad. So such a program, you'll not be writing you're welcome always. You can just create a greeting function called greeting that will take the name of the person, the user. At every point in time, they want that particular code to execute. You will not do what? You will run it. You will call it at that particular point. Call it greeting. Call it greeting. Call it greeting to greet. You don't have to start writing the code again. That's basically what function does. Right? Hope it's clear. Okay. Now we have a syntax for that. I have a syntax. We create a function. Syntax of a function. And this is syntax. We use the define def, then the function name. Let's say I want to create a function that greets me welcome. Or let us say a function that greets hello, welcome to Poshem Technologies. Let's do that. The function calls greeting. Greet. This is a function. You create it with def, the function name, then your parentheses. You now put your column, then write your code. Your code now will be here. Block of code will be here. Now, what I'm going to write? Let me just write print. Let me just print welcome. Print welcome to Poshem Technology. All right, so this is it. Now, let me run the code. I've created the function now. That is how to create a function. The first part is your define function, which is the keyword. The def keyword is used to define a function. Then the greets, the parenthesis, is the function name. Then the code inside the function is indented. This indented line of code. This is your code. You can write so many things here. As far as it is indented, it's inside the function. This is how to create your function basically. And one other thing again, that function has is your return statement. Return. This is an example of function. Let's run this one first. This is we run this. Let's call it now. Let's call. Okay. Before we call the function, let me show you this example one. Another example. This example one. This example two. Now, let's create a function that did that particular stuff that Carrera did. Creating a function that okay, let's just do a simple function. A function that adds let's say I'm looking for where to use these return statements. Okay, let's leave it for now. We'll use it in argument and parameters. Let's call the function. Calling of functions. Calling function. Now I've created the function now. Has been created. How can I use it? How can I use it? We call it. We call the function. And we call it. You just call the name. Greet. When you call greet, you run it. Welcome to Poshem Technologies. This is the easiest form of a function. The most simplest form of a function. All right. Any question if I proceed? Guys, any question if I proceed?
No question for now. I think what you just did is you define the function greet.
Yes.
Open bracket, close bracket, quotation mark.
No, that is colon. That's colon mark. That's
colon. Sorry.
Yes.
Pardon me.
Yes.
Colon. Colon. Then print welcome to Poshem Technologies. You run the code.
Exactly.
Then what you did next is calling the function. You just wrote greet and run the code. It ran. It brought out the welcome to Poshem.
Yes. Yes. That's it. As far as function, once a function is defined, it can be called whenever required. As long as this particular program is open now, and I've executed this program, this function once. If I want to use it down my code, below my code now, I can still use it. I'll run it. It will run. All right. Okay now. Okay. So let's proceed. Let's look at arguments and parameter. I'll still give us other examples too, but let's just look at arguments and parameter.
I have a question.
Go on.
This function is what can be used like in case of you want to write something like maximum of something, minimum, summations.
Exactly.
You can give
Yes.
an example with maybe another, because this one is just as simple. It's like writing a welcoming thing.
That's why I said I'm coming. I'll give more examples. I get
Okay.
I said I'm coming. I'll give you more examples. We're not done with function. We are just starting. So I'm just coming. I'll give you more exampple. I want to just explain this particular concept, because if I start introducing more examples now, it will require this particular concept now I want to explain to us. All right. Okay. Now, argument and parameter. A function can take an input called parameter. Now, when creating a function, the function can take an input called parameter. All right, look at it. When creating a function, the function can take an input called parameter. That's what? That is your parameter. Then the value passed to these parameters during function calling are called arguments. The values passed to this parameter during function calling is called arguments. Now, I will explain with an example now. How I said, let me just define this concept before I start giving us more examples. I will explain. All right. Now, this is a function. When we created this function, it doesn't have any parameter. When we called it, no arguments. Now, arguments are parameters, are inputs that the function received during creation. Why arguments are values passed to the parameters during function calling. Now, if I include a parameter here, a value here, is called parameter. If I input a value here called argument during creation. Now, example, I want to create a function that calculates the sum of 3 different numbers. Now, this particular program needs a what? A parameter. What are the parameters? That's the 3 different numbers that will be summed in the function. For example, let's define the function. Let's say this is called sum numbers. Sum numbers. Sum numbers add the parentheses. Now you now have to include the parameters. This is number, you can call it number 1, comma, number 2, comma, number 3. Anything at all, any particular variable, like a variables, it must be the variable rule. You are assigning variables called parameters during creation. All right, now I go. What do I want to do? I want to sum the numbers, right? I'll now create a variable here called sum numbers. Sum numbers is equal to number 1 plus number 2 plus number 3. Now I'm summing the three values, which is the 3 parameters that was received when during this creation. Now after I sum this, I could want to just run this my code. I have created this particular function. Now if I want to call it now, I do sum numbers. I call it 1, 2, 5. 5. I want to sum these 3 values. Now, if I run, there will be no output. Why? Because I didn't tell the system, the function, either to print or to do something else. Now, note this. When creating a function, you either print or you return. You either print or you return the required output. What am I saying now? Now, this particular function cannot display anything to you. Even if you do print here, I don't think this guy, let's see. Okay. No, yes, it's to give you none. Yes, of course, it's to give you none. Because the function did not use the right syntax to store the value. It stored it into a variable called some numbers. But one thing or two things remain. Either he do print some numbers, or either I do this, but if you do this print now, even if you do not call this guy print, you just print you the answer 8. Or you do this, either you do this print, or you do, let me just using prints. Okay, we already done print. This is print. We don't print here already. So let me just edit this one and we use what we call return. Return some numbers. So if you run this one and call this function, it will return the value for you, which is 8. To return the value, which is 8. Then, what is the difference between return and print? It's best you use return because return stores the value of the function inside the function. So you can use that function as an input in a different function. Now, I will explain. If you use print statement, like you are writing the value on a B-board, right? Welcome to Poshem technology on the B-board. When you are using this return, you are like putting this value inside this container. So that anywhere they call some, for example, now, I want to create a function again that takes the output of a function and multiply it by 3. Now, I want to create a function that receive the output of the sum function of the function above as input, then multiply it by 3. Now, how are we going to do that? Look now, df num, this is a multiply 3. You can just put x as parameter when creating it. You now do results is equals to x times 3. You now do return results. Now watch. multiply 3, will receive this guy now, this function as an input. Now, what is this function? This function is 8, right? Then this long thing we are seeing here, the answer is what? 8. Am I correct?
Yes, you are.
All right. Now I now run it now. 3 times 8 is what? 24. But just assuming, let me see this. Assuming I remove this return now and put print. I'll show you the difference between return and print. And put print. Let me run this now. Run this. Let's run this. Let's run this. Then run this. Run this. You see, you won't get the required answer. Do you know why? You know why?
No, we don't.
All right. I will explain. I'm coming. All right. Look, I told you, look at what it give you. Unsupported operand types for non-type and ints. Now, this value here ought to be 8, right? Right? It ought to be 8. But now it is printing the value at. It is not storing the value inside the function itself. Function can be reused. What makes function reusable is when you apply the return statement. Any function you want to reuse, not just once, you want to reuse it, you must apply the return statement. You don't use print, because what print does is that it just prints the result, the output once. It does not store the output in the function. You just print it, doesn't store it. But what return does is that return stores the output inside the function. It has a way of doing that. It will store it in the function that whenever you call, want to use it again, it has the capacity to use that output as an input of another function where required. That's why it's giving you this particular. Look at the line. Look at the line here. You want to operate this x and 3. It's telling you that this x is a non-type. This is a non-type. And int. This is a non-type. So it's not is of no data type. So what it means is not of a function type. Listen that now. If you want to check the type of this now, let's check the type of this. Let's do this. Let's check the type of this. Let's confirm. Yeah, you see, it's a non-type. Why is it a non-type? Because it can't be used again anywhere. It just like give me an output. Take this particular value, don't store it, just give me an output, just print it out for me. Let me just see what is inside. That is what it means. It's not a string, it's not an integer, it's not a float, it's a non-type. So you cannot perform operation on a non-type and an integer. That's just difference between print and return inside the function. Are we clear? So we can just give one real life example of function. So this return now, return stores the output. So it can be reused. Are we good on that?
So, okay, I'm good. I'm good. But I want to ask, in the second definition you made, that define multiply 3 by x.
Yes.
Apparently, any value can come for x.
Any value at all. I'm just using this y. This guy
Yes,
this
but
guy is
here we
8.
just decided to use this sum 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 5. Sorry, 1, 2,
Yes,
5.
exactly. Exactly. That's just it. You can go ahead and store your and assign your function to a variable. You can go ahead and say, let's let's say this is example this is example 1, right? This is example 1, example 2, right? This is example 1 now. Okay, this is my example 1, and this is my example 2. You can go ahead and say, all right, let me store example 1 as multiply. The multiply we use as a sum numbers.
Example 2.
Example 1 as sum numbers, brackets. How many numbers? Let's say 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 5.
Yes, any of them. Any of them. Just a values. This okay now. Now this is a parameter. This is an argument. The arguments are what? The values passed when you are calling a function. Function calling is called a argument. So these are arguments. The values can change. I get me, as long as they follow this convention 1, 2, 3. The values can be anything. It mustn't be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 5. Are you getting me? Now I've stored example. Now I can example 1. Example 1 is 9 and none. Why is it showing none? Okay, it's showing none because it's a non-type. Why is it showing none? Because where is this? I want me to show none. Let's see. Let me remove this. Okay. You know why it's showing none? Because when you print the value of this particular, it ought to be a function. It should be it's showing none because it tells us that particular function cannot be reused. Why? It's just like me displaying on my screen. I can easily wipe it off. That's why it's saying none. But assuming we use return, it can't tell you none because the value is stored somewhere. Example 2. Let me store example 2. This is example 2. Mind you, I cannot use example 1 as an input to show you know. Can I use this theory? Will it work? Will it work, guys?
I don't know, but I think it should.
No, now look at example 1 is print now. It will not work. It will give you the same error that it gave us here. Look at it now. This is example 1. Example 1 is some numbers and we use print here. Making it as even though it's 9 as the output, is a non-type, so it cannot be passed as an argument. Let's just pass our normal value 9. Yeah, let's print our example 2. See that it didn't bring out none. It's nice to bring out none to tell you that is a non-type. You cannot use this function again. You cannot reuse it as an input, but you can use it somewhere just as a static function. You want it to just print welcome, print greetings. You don't want to use the output as an input of a different function. No. That's just it basically. All right. Any question before I take another example?
Mr. Promise.
Go on.
Yeah. So the idea of this print and return is like print can give you the actual result, right? Whilst return can store the value for you. Like whenever you want to use it, you can come back and use it.
No, you can still use prints if you want to use it again. Just like if you are using prints, you cannot reuse it. You can reuse it as an ordinary function, but you cannot reuse it as an input, as an argument of a different function. But you can still call it in a particular line of code. It will still give you an output, what is inside it. You can still pass a parameter inside it and give you an output. Just like it should always be in form of an output function, not a function that will be as an input in a different function.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I can pass this example 2 now. Value
Mr. P,
now.
Mr. P.
This example 1.
Mr. P. Mr.
Yes.
Promise.
I'm with you.
Sorry for cutting you. I don't know if it's just me. I think this definition for argument and parameter is kind of not yet very clear to me. I don't know.
Okay, very good. Let me explain more. When I mean a parameter, just like when you say parameter is used when creating a function. You know, when building a house, you have your door. That door has measurements. The door size has measurements. You put the measurements there, the height, the width, do the frame, and keep when building your house. When you are done building, then you now bring the door properly and put. Now, that door, that frame you use when creating the building your house is called your what? Your parameter. Then when you have done building that particular frame, you've done your linted, you've done the plaster, they want to fix your door. That door now can be your what? Your argument. Or the people pass. Let me just use one now. You build your house, you put your door, the parameter. Then you that is passing inside the door, passing in the house, passing through the door, you are the what? The argument. You are the one passing inside the particular door. That is just what is parameter and argument. I build my house, I put my door and my door frame. They are parameters. Then that's in house. For me to enter the house, I'm going to eat or go and live inside my pass through door, right? Now I'm the argument now, passing through that front door and coming out to the back door. That's just what it is. Now I created this function now. I have parameters used for creating. They will still enter inside the function. They will be there. They will eat. They will sum. They will multiply and do whatever they want to do. And they will still come out. So now, when I want to call the function now, I will now call the people that will pass inside the function now. They are the what? The number 1, 2, and 5. They are now my what? Arguments. Is it clear now?
I think it's better, yes.
All right, better. How about you, Kawira? Are we good?
Me, I got lost a bit.
Yeah. Where now?
I got lost at results and print, and I couldn't understand.
That's why I asked Piston at Legra interval, so that I've known we've passed that place. Now you say you got lost. I was asking since now. Should I continue? Any question? I didn't say anything. That's not it now. As soon as I'm going down, progressive, I always ask any question. Should I continue? All right, print and I told you that print and returns. What print does is that it just displays the output. It does not store. You cannot use the function where print is being used as an input of a different function. For example, now this is a function now. We use this function was created where we use print to display the sum numbers. Now, I created it and it gave me, I called it here. Where is it? I called it. Where is it? I called it and it gave me 8. All right. Now, because I used print here, it gave me 8. Now, I want to create a new function now that receive the output of a function of the function above as input, then multiply it by 3. In other words, I want to create a function that just multiplies an input by 3, but I want to use the output of that. I want to use that function above as its input. Now look at it. When creating the function, I created it using a variable called x, which is the parameter. So like your door and the frame when you are building the house. And now I've been building the house now. I want to call the function. I call this function. Now I want to pass in a value for s, a parameter for s, and I call this function. This function, this guy is 8, right? Kavira, are we correct? This whole guy we are seeing here is 8, right?
Okay.
Okay. Now, I want this function to multiply the inputs. By right, it would have done 3 times 8 because 8 is the result of this guy. But what happened? It gives us an error saying that, look at the arrow here. This particular line. This line, this line now is showing us that unsupported operand types for this operator, non-type and integer. We have integer here, which is this one. But this one now is a non-type. How? This guy is the parameter, which this sum underscore numbers is the argument. And we have said that if you use print does not store the output in the function. It only displays the result, the output to the users. What stores the output is what? Return. So when you use return, you can reuse the function as an input, but you cannot reuse the function as an input when you use print. So, and now the type of this, to check for type, the type for this particular guy here is a non-type because it doesn't tell if it's a string or integer or float. It's a non-type. It doesn't have a type. It just used to display the prints. It just used to display. So it won't give you a type. But when you are using return, this will give you, this one now will give you a type. This value you are seeing here will give you a type. But using this sum, because print is being used here, it won't give you a type. Why? Because print does not store the values. It only displays the value. Are you clear now?
Something else. Previously, we used to define a variable before. In this case, I'm saying you are placing the variable, then defining it later. Like you sent multiply 3 times x, which you have not defined x, but you came to define x later as the sum number of 1, 2, 5. So it's okay.
This is S. I just explained something here with us when we are building a house. I'm building this house now. This is a house I'm building now. This is my door. This is my door. I design how the door will be. It's just one person that can enter this door. Once one person can enter this door. after building the house now, I want to use the house now. The one person that is and the rest is that is the person that entered eventually. He entered. What is he doing? Is he eating or is sleeping? He's doing summation, listen, multiplication. You eat, you times it by 3, and I get my result. And I return the result. I return it to the function. That's what I did here. That is the rules. The rule, that is how we create function, define function. Is it clear now?
Okay.
All right. Another example 3. Now, just let's take a scenario. Let's take a scenario. For example, now we work in an organization, pay the staff by work hour. All right. They pay them by work hour. Let's say they pay $40, or let's say they pay $15, $15 per hour. Now, create a function that calculates the salary of a staff using the hourly rates and the words total hours, right? Total work hour. Who can do that? Assuming that hourly rate is what? Let's say 15 USD. All right. Who can do that quickly? Anyway, attempt this question.
Let me try.
All right, let's go.
DEF.
Okay.
Hourly rate. Open bracket.
Let's just say salary, not hourly rates. It doesn't really sound well. Let's just say salary. Calculate salary. Let's say calc salary. It's good to name your function similar, something close to what is doing. Are you getting me?
Okay.
All right. All right. Call.
We'll just name it this thing X or nothing. Let's just leave it that way. Okay, then come down.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Wages, the
okay. What
salary is equal to 40 times X.
40 times X. Where is the S now?
The S will have to
be 40 or 15.
Sorry, 15 times X hours.
Where is the S hours now?
X hours has to do with the number of hours the person works now.
Where will I put it now? Just like are you seeing what I'm doing at all?
I'm seeing what you're doing.
It's okay like this. It's okay like this.
I don't know how to put it, but I know that it has to do with 15 times X as in unknown, because at this point now we don't know how many hours the person is going to work.
Who can help him out now? Kawira or Mohammed? Or are you done with this code? Should I continue?
Just 15 times X, 15 times X. Let's 15 times X.
No, what else?
And we take note that mentally that is what's it called?
What will I do next now? I want to
Return.
return it. Return what?
15 times X.
Salary now.
Return salary, sorry.
Now, if I run this now, I want to call calc salary. How will I do? What will I do now? How will I get the value of X?
To get the value of X, we have to know how many hours somebody has worked.
Okay, I work 20 hours in a day, in a week. It'll be 20 hours, let's 40 hours in a week.
Can I give it to you, please?
Go on.
For me, if the person is working like 20 hours, and the salary is equals to 15, right? So I will define it as like salary.
Let me see. This is your own now. Let's go to your own now. Let's see. All right. Define. Okay. Salary.
Salary. No, it will be like like the way we put an example too. To say salary equals to 20.
I don't understand it. Just like this. Salary equals 20.
Yeah, salary.
Bracket
open 20. No, okay, equals to 20. Sorry.
I don't understand what are you
equals to 20.
Are you creating a function? Or? Okay.
Bracket open. You open a bracket 15, which is the hourly, the rate per hour. Then you print salary.
I see what they are trying to do at all. I see this thing. I see what they are doing. Please, this is a syntax. Is not a right syntax. What we are doing? It's not a good syntax. See, Papa Charles, you got it. It's just that you didn't call your parameter. The X will be there, or your X. Anytime to call it X hour or X, so you put it there. You now call that. You now put your X hour. So that when you call the function now, you will now call the number of hours here, which is 40 hours. You will now call it. You will now say, this is example 3. Example 3 is equal to this. You will now print your example 3. This is $600. Are you getting me, Pajas?
Yes, sir.
Look at the parameter here during creation. Anything you are doing, if you are putting a variable inside your function, the variable must be created, must be a parameter during creation. That is just it. You don't just put the variable blindly. When you now call for, how will now put the, if you don't put anything here now, when you want to call it now, how will you now put this hourly S hour here? No, it will be a parameter. Imagine when you create a house, you do not put door and somebody is inside the house. How manage? Did you guys just was it built inside the house without door frame and door? So how will you not put this guy inside when he doesn't have any door to enter the house? So that is why the door is always created. Put the door frame for the person to enter inside the house. Declared now. This is one. Now another example again. So we'll just get it finally. Now you can do this. You can also create a hourly rate here, so that you don't be starting. So that it can be changed. What is that they say? Okay, want to change the hourly rate now from 15 to 20. You not start going start. You not start creating a new function again. No, you put your hourly rate as a parameter also. you come here, you remove it and put it hourly. You come here again. Sorry, let me just replace it. Hourly rates. You come here, you replace this, you call hourly rates. You now run this one. You now call calc salary. Let me call this one 2. This one is 2. Let's save it as example 4. This is example 4 equal to, right, calc salary 2. You now call how many hours? Hourly, let's say the company has considered their staff, they are doing well. They want to increase their hourly pay. Let's say it's 15 USD, comma, how many hours? 40 hours. Then I want to print F string. My F string here, I will say the salary of the staff is, put it in my distance, is example 4. Close your distance, put your close everything and print. Salary 2 is not defined. Okay, let's define it. Look at it. I run this. The salary of staff, the staff is 800 USD. Let me put the USD here. USD. I run 800 USD. That is just it, basically. That's it. Hope it's clear. All right. Tawira, is it cleared?
Okay, I don't understand between the first and the second one, why you are putting an hour related. The first one you have placed them, the second place, the salary 2. What's the difference between that and 1?
Okay, this one now. This one now is kind of, I created the function with just using just the X. Okay, this particular house now, I created this house now. There's only one person, there's only one door. You can only accept only one person. Only one person can enter the house. So I created the house with 2 doors, two persons. The rule is that 1 door is for 1 person. If it's 2 doors, it's for 2 persons. Now this house now, 2 persons can enter inside. Now, why did I do this? Because in this particular 15 now is the slightly hourly rate by the company. The company might want to upgrade their staff pay in future. When you do this, you don't give them the opportunity to upgrade. You just said that they should be using 15 forever. That's what this one means. But when you are flexible with your code, put all the constants as a parameter that they can be changed anytime. Now, I cannot change this 15 again here. It's a constant inside the function. But if I bring it as a variable here, as a parameter here, I can change it. Look at it, hourly rate is here. It came as 20 here. In future, I can still change it as 40 or 50 or $100 per hour. Is it not clear?
Yes.
Yeah, the same thing, though. They do the same function, but in different way. This is more flexible. This is static. This is like a static code. This one is more flexible one. All right. So I guess we are good. Okay. Now we're looking at key arguments. Key arguments. Now, guys, what are arguments? Let me just, if you can record. What's argument? Hello. What's our argument?
From this last example, hello?
Yes. I'm with you.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay, from the last example we just did, hourly rate and hour, they are parameters. The arguments are 20 and 40, where 20 is the hourly rate and 40 is the hours.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so the 20 and the 40 are the arguments. The parameters are the hourly rate and the X hours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now define it now. Now define it now. You got it very well. Just like I told us now that during creation, the values passed into the function is called parameters. But during calling, the value passed into the function is called arguments. That's just how to define it. Now, what are keyword arguments? Now, keyword arguments allow the passing of value to a function without considering the order. Without considering the order. I get me now. Without considering the order. Now, in this case now, we have a parameter here. If I mistakenly and change this thing now to 40 and change this thing to 20, do you think I have the same results? Guys. Okay, let's just say I will have y because it is a cumulative. Because there are multiplication is cumulative. What if now, just assume that I don't want to use times to give me the same value. What I'm trying to say is that, okay, if I do this thing now, do you think the hourly rate is still 20 hours? It's still 20 USD, guys?
No, the hourly rate has changed to 40 USD.
Or exactly. Now that is why we say keyword argument allows users to impute values without considering the order. Now this particular argument now, it has an order whereby the first one is hourly rate and second one is what? X hour, number of hour. So we cannot tamper with this position or order. All right, we have what we call keyword arguments. We use keywords when creating them, and those keywords should be used when calling them. You know, when we created a function, we use what? The parameters. Now, when calling the function, we use what? Arguments. And those arguments should be in the right order when creating them. You cannot exchange hour, X hour, and hourly rate. No, you exchange the values if you do that. But in keyword arguments, when creating them, we use their keywords. When calling them, we also use that keywords. All right. Now, if you want these particular variables now not to change, you can say, you can do this. Let me write this code here for us. Now, example, okay. Example, okay, let me just define this one first. Let me just define it. a keyword argument allows the passing of values to functions without considering the order. All right, now, example now. Example 5. Let's repeat example 4. All right, now let's go. Let's define calc using keyword now, using keyword arguments. All right, now we have defined calc salary. Let's say 3. Now we have what we call hourly rates. All right, comma, X hour. All right, this is it now. Let's print. Let's do our salary. Hourly rates. Typing this thing again. I just copied it too. Times X hour. Return salary. Now, I want to call this argument, this function. Now, watch now. Calc 3. Let's say 20 hours, 20 USDT again, and 40 hours. Now, let's just say I want the 40 hours to be here, and I want the 20 to be here. This will not be the same with this, right? Like what we have said now, right, guys? Now, what will I do? I will introduce the keyword argument. What's the keyword here? X hours is what? X hour. This is equal to S hour, comma. This is equal to what? Hourly rates. This keyword should be what was created with here. As long as this keyword is here, the position does not really matter. Are we getting it? As far as you use the keyword, that's why it's called keyword argument. As far as the keyword is being used, the position does not really matter. Digest it and ask your question, please. Hello.
Hi.
Digest and ask your question. I'm waiting for you. $800. Let me start another example again. Example 6. Now let's create a function that we receive the name, age, and gender of a user. And print them using keyword arguments. All right, now let's go. Okay, we have df. Let's say print details. Print user details. User details. All right. Now this is let's say the name what, age, right, and what, gender. Am I correct?
Yes.
Hello. All right. Now, let's say print. It will print the first one. It will say, let's say F string. Our normal this thing, F string. Let's say my name is, you will say this is, let's say this is name. And is, or let's say he or she, don't know if it's she, he or she, or let's just say, okay, gender, sorry, gender is here. Let's say gender, okay, we'll not use gender, and okay, and is a gender, male or female, gender, and is a also, and let me say age, age years old. I close it. Now, run the function. I want to call it now. Now, print user details. Now, using the keyword argument, I can now change the position. I start with the gender here. I can say gender is equals to what? Female. Then age, let's say name. Name is equals to what? Kawira. And I can say age is equals to what? Let's say 35. All right. Now, if I run this now, this is Kawira and it's a female, 35 years old. You see, the keyword now helps us to change the position of the what? The argument. It's not really name, age, gender. It's gender here, name here, and age. You get it? Do we get it?
Yes, I do. But so I want to ask, so in this case, now this last example you just gave,
Yes.
in this last example you just gave, you wrote a syntax at the beginning that you define your parameters, then and create a block of code. The print is the block of code, Abby.
Yes, that's it. That print now is what the block of code. I told you that it can be one line of code. It can be anything there. Are you getting me now? Yes, that print now there now is just the block of code there. It could be anything. All right. So you can just put this. You can just put this. Let's say value. You can just copy this. Copy and paste here. Then put your value here. It's the same thing. Are you getting me now? It's the same thing. You can even use return self. You can say return value. Return value. That's it. All right. Any question, Madam K? Can I proceed?
Yes, we can.
We are clear, right? Okay, let's see if I can get another example. Let's see if I have another example here to give us. Okay. For example, now we want to design an online application, online shopping cart where you put your products, you place your products, the number of quantity, and the price. All right. Now let's do that. Then you now print give me the output, telling the user, telling the company that a user placed so order with so price and so quantity. Let's do that. Now I have the function called, let's say, shopping cart. We have the products that was ordered. We have the price. And we have a quantity. Now we can initially give a constant quantity as 1. This is a constant quantity when created. Now what can we do? Let's say this is a shopping summary is equals to, put your F string, products, price, put your dollars, put your this, price, and your quantity. Put your quantity. All right. Then your total. What will be the total now? Guys, what do you think will be the total? Sorry, this is called. Hello? Mathematics now. Total. But Charles, what's the total?
Total will be price times quantity.
Price times quantity. Right?
Yeah.
So this is a function created, and this guy, you guys, they gave a constant quantity 1. Now, when creating or giving 1, shopping, I want to buy something. I want to know the price and the thing. I want to buy, let's say, a Samsung Galaxy. All right. And the price I saw there is kind of, let's just say, $100, 100 USD. Then quantity, let's just say I want to buy 5. Now let's try something. If it will work. 5. Let's see.
You
You know why it not work? You know why it not work? Look at product now. Product is Samsung Galaxy. Price this. I gave this guy 5. You know what? Why did not work?
You didn't define them.
I did not define my quantity. Quantity is being defined as 1. So even if you want to change the value of quantity, you must put the quantity here. Quantity. If you watch, I didn't define others. Just call them the way they were. Galaxy, price, photo Galaxy, price. This guy, I just called it the way they were. This quantity is equals to 1. Oh, sorry, I expect wrong thing. I expect. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this work. Let's see. It should work. Let's see. Okay, it work. It will work. All right. So this is it. I didn't print anything. Sorry. Didn't print anything here. Let's say print. Let's say return. Return. Shopping. Summary. All right. Now, if you watch now, initially they gave us 1 as quantity, but I went on changing it to what? 5. If you watch now, everything here came in the same order. But assuming now mistakenly, I don't want to be in the same order, I will not have to type them myself. Product, price. So if I did not pass anything here, guys, do you think this code will run? Do you think it will run?
You did not do what?
If I did not add, no, so this thing ought to be 3, 1, 2, 3. I just added just 2, some Samsung and price. Will it run?
I think you should run.
Why?
Because you've already defined quantity, you should return like $100. Just assume that the quantity is 1. My thought anyway.
That's correct. Look at it here. Quantity is 1. You define it when you can. Keyword helps us to define a variable when created. You can either define it with the value initially, or you can use the keyword as during argument. So now I just passed two. So that particular thing you did here now, and you did here, this thing now can be a keyword argument, and you put here. When creating at ab initio it was $15. You can use $15. You can use it like this here now. Put a $15 x hour hourly rate. You got to 15 here. And if I come down, I didn't put 15. I put hourly this thing. I put hourly rates times this. When I come down here, I did not put any value here for where is it? Any value here as hourly rate. I just put my hours, X hour, and do just 40 alone. Automatically will give you times 40 times 15 and give me my answer. That's just basically what function is all about. I think so much far I've dealt with function to an extent. So it's now left for you to go and explore more of function. Convert all those your codes that you wrote, those ones that Karina did. That one she did, you can convert it to a function. The last one you did, let me go and copy it and paste here. That one you did in class in your assignments. Let me see.
I think you should give us more questions on this function, because I guess for me to give me a better understanding other than just talking.
Sure. I will give you guys. That is massive. It's normal now. It's the wrong request for that. You get now. All right. So How will I do this now? Now. Okay, this is your function. Let's convert this to a function. How will I do this now for you guys to explain what I'm showing? Let's see. Okay, let's see. df okay, now look, I want to use this function now. I want it to be a function. So what I will do here, I will just create it, define, compare value. Now watch this code. This gets a variable. I get me now. Variable here, and this one's not they are being requested of right now. You can bring this guy to be a keyword argument, constant value, given number is equals to 4. All this, run this code. Run the code. Sorry, I didn't put this guy. Okay. Run this code. Wrong indent. Okay, let's see. Sorry. All right, look at the right indent here. Wrong indent here. Wrong indent here. All right, let's run now. Let's see. Now, if I call this function now, which is compare value. Guys, if I run this thing now, what do you think will happen? Like this. Can I run this like this without putting an argument? Will it flow? Will it flow, guys?
It should, I think it should.
So what do you think I'll get? I'll get the first line of code, right? Enter first integer. Second, enter second integer, right? This is 35, 34, 35, 22. Look at this. Is greater than 4. Now, if I want to run, I want to change this guy now. I want to change this 4. I want to use, let me just say use 25 here now. I run, enter first value. This 1, 2 is empty. 4. Is it 4? It's 4. Why is it 4? Because the given number is equal to 4 here. It shouldn't be equal to 4. It should just be a variable. Let's remove this 4 here. Move the 4. Since it's 4, yeah, you're already now. You don't want to be a static inside your variable, inside your function. You want it to be an argument being received. All right, I run this now. This is correct. This is this. This is this. This is this. This is greater than 4. Now this one now will not be what? 25, 76, 45, 1, 25. So I've done this simple thing you wrote now. I can use it in my program, in my code. If you want to build a big software now, I can use it repeatedly. That's just basically what function is. All right, so let's proceed to class and objects. We just introduce it. The next class we will deal with it. All right, so please make your study more. There are resources. I'll drop a link on W3 School. I think I've shared that link before. It's an online this thing where you can learn more and practice more. Take more exercises there and practice more. I'll send you potential. Now, object, classes, and objects. All right. Okay. This is a concept in Python called object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is a concept that helps us also in organizing our codes into reusable structure, just like your function. But what does class and object does is that you can define an object from a class. Example, we have animals. Animals. These are animals. We have dog, we have goats, we have cow. They are all different objects, but they are of the same class, right? Object and class is a Python concept called object-oriented programming. Let me define this. Object and class. This is a programming concept called object-oriented programming that helps us to organize our code so that it can be reused in a certain manner. All right, now what do I mean by that? Object and class is a very big concept. We just touch it. We'll not go deep because it's a course on its own. But I just brought it in. I just want us to touch it in this curriculum, in our curriculum. Basically, you Python self, you don't need it to. Now, when you mean by object and class, human beings, we are of the human class, right? Where you have the male object and the female object. We have the fair objects and the dark in complexion objects. So classes can be defined as a certain object with the same attributes and characteristics. Those are what we call classes. When you say we have the same class in school, in other words, we learn the same subjects, we offer the same courses, and we are graded the same way in school. That is what classes and objects mean. Object is an instance of a class. We are all humans, but I'm a male. Papa Charles is a male. Kawira is a female. So I, which is a male, I'm an instance of the human class, or I'm an object of the human class, But Kawira is a female. She's also an object or an instance of the female class, of the human class, which is the female. Then we have Kawira, we have Madam Joy, we have other persons in our Poshem, which are females. Madam Peggy, females. We can say Kawira is an object of the female class. Madam Peggy is an object of the female class. But they are all objects of the human class. Promise is an object of the male class. Papa Charles is an object of the male class. But we are all objects of the human class. So classes, they are set of objects of the same, that have the same attributes or the same characteristics. Like we have vehicles, we have cars. Cars is a class. And those classes, they have attributes like they have the brake, they have the 4 tires, they have the steering, they have the gear, they have the windscreen, side mirror. Those are the attributes of a car. Then truck is different from car. They are of different class. But the universal class is what? They are all vehicles. That's the universal class. When you draw it down now, they are now what? Submitted to different class. So in Python or in programming language, when you want to build a software, or you want to design a system whereby the codes they perform different functions, or they perform different tasks. For example, now in a banking system, I get you now. In a banking system, you can create a class called banking system or bank account that performs various tasks, that has various functions. One, in a bank class, we deposit. In a bank class, we withdraw. In a bank class, we transfer. In a bank class, we check account balance. That is for bank class. Now you want to create a program that or let's just say you want to create a game system. Now, okay, yes, let me just use that class now. That bank account as an example now. For example, now I've created that bank accounts class, and Pachak has his own account, Kawida has her own, Mohammed has her own account, me too, I have my own account. 4 of us now have our own accounts. So 4 of us now are now objects of the bank accounts class. So I would have my own account where I deposit, I withdraw, I transfer, I check balance. Kawida have the same thing too. They are all performing the same, they are all performing different functions, or the same function to 4 different persons. So I don't have to be writing 4 different codes, the same thing for 4 different persons again. No, I just have to I just have to create an object of that class and give it one Apache. Create an object of class and give it Kawira. Give it Mohammed Ali, and give one, create one and give me. That is what function class and object is all about. Maybe on Wednesday we'll now practicalize it and do more example on it. All right. Any question on this class of objects? Did you go anything I said? Are we there? Anybody? Charles, Kawira?
Yeah, I'm with you, but no question from my end.
Okay. Kawira, how about you?
No question.
So you got the class of object very well, right?
Pardon?
You got this last concept very well.
Let me just say, I'll just watch the videos. I'll get an understanding of everything.
All right.
Also, you have not sent the Friday's video. Kindly.
Friday video, Monday video. Friday video, Monday. Okay, today's Monday. Friday video has not been sent.
No, you just sent 6th and 7th. The Monday and the Wednesday last week.
All right, no problem.
Yeah,
The
thank
recent,
you.
recent, yeah. So, all right, no question. All right, so we call it the night. So we expect the assignment tomorrow. All right, guys.
All right,
All right, sir.
thank you.
Yeah, good night. Thank you very much.